Envy.
Better known as the People's Choice. And salute to all my light-skinned brothers out there.
Jess Hilarious.
Jess with the worldwide best. Jess don't do no lying.
And Charlamagne the God.
Donkey today.
Everybody come to the Breakfast Club. I call this the hot seat.
You're alive.
Breakfast Club. It's like being on America's front porch.
Don't feel like my rich cousins that never talk to me.
Every time I go to the Breakfast Club, I know it's going to be like a good morning.
I'm getting
This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Everything with me is blessed.
Call up now, 800-585-1051.
Not just me, I'm what the culture feeling.
Hey, Nadine. Good morning. Get it off your chest. Where you calling from first?
I'm calling from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, Dallas. What's up, mama?
I wrote a book. It's called How to Date a Fat Chick, A Fat Girl's Guide to Dating. And I'll be so grateful, guys. Pick it up and read it.
How to date a fat chick?
Yes, A Fat Girl's Guide to Dating.
Is it a heavy read? Is it thick? Like, how many
Jesus.
pages is it?
Ha ha ha, you're so funny.
No, I'm just asking. Like, how many pages is it?
It's not that thick. It's like 116 pages. It's a one-day read, but it's a great story about my dating life.
About your what?
My dating life.
Oh, you a big girl.
Oh, duh.
Don't duh that. She might not be big no more. This might be her past life she's writing about.
So it was hard. It was hard for you to date.
It's a satirical look at my dating life. It's just the things that I went through and the lessons that I learned along the way.
Okay.
Nah, I'd love to read that. I had a homegirl who wrote something like that before. It was called Dating While Fat.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah. It's on Amazon, so it's by Nadine Jones, which is me. And again, How to Date a Fat Chick, A Fat Girl's Guide to Dating.
Okay.
What category is it in? Food, home?
Jesus.
What is it? Like, what category is it?
Home.
It's the how-to. Should be how-to, right?
I'm asking.
I don't know what category it's in, but it's comedy, I think, satirical.
See?
So just type it in, you'll find it.
What's it called again?
How to Date a Fat Chick.
So if a guy takes you out to eat, do you limit the food that you have so you don't look big?
You got to read the book.
You're right. I'm sorry.
It came up as a cookbook.
No, it didn't. Shut up.
No, I'm lying. No, How to Date a Fat Chick, A Fat Girl's Guide to Dating by Nadine Jones. Okay,
All right.
I like the cover. I like that it looks like what do you call that? A Cosmo. What do you call that book?
A notebook. Yeah, a cosmo, whatever that is. Yeah,
I like that.
Composition.
Composition. There you go.
There we go.
Well, you have a good one, Nadine.
Thank you. You too.
Good luck. Hello, who's this?
What's going on, man? My name is Super Trucker, man. I'm out of Eastern North Carolina, man. I'm a truck driver.
What's up, Super Trucker? How you feeling this morning?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm out here shifting gears, making that black smoke come out the bike.
Okay,
Hey.
all right. What you transporting?
I do flatbeds. I'm hauling building materials right now.
Okay, all right. Well, be safe on them
Yeah,
roads,
man.
brother.
Yo, man, I just want to know, man, do y'all got love for truckers, man?
You damn right I got love for truckers. You know, let me hear that
I
horn.
know you do, Jess. Hey, look, I got a song called Trucker Love, man. Okay. So y'all get a chance, check it out. It's on YouTube.
You still got love for truckers, Jess? You knew he was going?
Yeah.
All right, blow that horn for us, brother.
I got you.
All right, man.
Hear that?
Be safe on them roads,
Thank
brother.
you.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, what's up, MV?
What's up, brother?
What's up, Jess? How y'all
What's up?
doing?
What's up, baby?
Good. What's going on? Get it off your chest.
Yo, I'm mad at my brother James.
What your brother do?
He set me up. I'm sick last night, not feeling well. I'm at home, and he lied to his wife, telling her that he was hanging out with me all night, and he wasn't.
Oh, man. He ain't tell you that you was part of the lie.
He ain't tell me because I was dead to the world, and his wife called my wife, asking her was he with me.
Oh, man.
And what your wife say?
Yo, she blew his spot up like, hell no. You want to see the cameras?
Damn.
She blew him up, and he's calling me up to talk about, yo, you supposed to help me out. I'm like, yo, you should have told me first.
I hate when somebody make you a part of the lie but don't tell you about the lie. Like, damn.
Now he mad because he say that I'm the reason why his wife is putting him out. Now he wants to come and stay at my house.
Oh, hell no.
You not the reason, and your wife ain't gonna let him stay. Your wife ain't gonna let no cheating ass stay at their house.
I'm sending him over to you, Envy.
Definitely not sending him over to me. I got a couple of dogs that'll make sure he stay out.
I hear that, Envy. Yo, Envy, when you throwing another mixtape out, man? Come on, stop playing.
You be rapping?
You talking about a DJ mixtape, Jess?
Okay,
Jess, you be rapping? You ain't gonna get that in a while, brother. It ain't gonna happen, bro.
Oh, come on, Envy.
That ain't gonna happen. These artists are a lot different, man. But back then, I would say the artists really respected the DJ and really loved the DJ. Where
mixes.
When you ask an artist for something, and they would be happy to do it, glad to do it. But now, I ain't playing the politics game, bro.
Yeah, I know what you and Red Cafe, man.
Yeah, shout to Red
Respect.
Cafe. All right, brother. Well, you have a good one, man.
Peace, Envy.
All right, brother. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Wake up, wake up. Wake your ass.
This is your time to get it off your chest. Whether you're mad or blessed, we want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, this is Adrena.
Hey, Adrena. Get it off your chest, mama.
I'm a little nervous, but I really want people to reach out to your friends and family, check on them to make sure that they are okay. It's been almost 8 months since I lost my soulmate to suicide. And when he committed suicide, we was on a break, but we were still very much in communication with each other. But I knew something was wrong, and my gut told me to go check, but my head said, no, don't do it. And had I listened to my gut, I would have known something was wrong and could have been able to help. Also, with women and their children, when you have a man that wants to be in the lives of their kids, you shouldn't use the child as a pawn to get back, because no one never ever thought that he would commit suicide because of what was happening with his children. So I just want people to just be aware of those things.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Well, definitely sending you healing energy, Queen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, mama. Have a blessed day.
You guys do the same.
It's very heavy this morning. Crack a joke or something, Jess. Lord
Okay,
have mercy.
so ain't no damn character. You got some money?
Hello, who's this?
Hello, this is Blind Tommy.
What's up, Blind Tommy?
Blind Tommy.
Get it off your chest.
How y'all doing, man?
Okay,
I'm mad because I'm a blind, broke comedian.
Are you, so you got to pick one now. Which one you mad about? Being blind, being broke, or being a comedian?
All three.
Well, you should learn to see the bright side.
Damn it.
How you know you're broke? How you know people not just stealing your money?
I ain't got no money to steal.
Damn.
I think you might be looking at this wrong. Were you born blind?
Look at it. You don't look at it one way.
No, I was blind 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, you are newly blind. You don't count.
Damn. How'd you get blind, sir?
Some fungus got in my system and they attacked my optic nerves.
Damn. Sorry to hear that, brother.
Have you learned any new skills? Has anything else strengthened?
A little bit, but not that too much.
Got you. Well, how can we help you this morning, brother? What can we do for you? Whatever. We'll see what we can do. Whatever it is.
Damn.
But
Charlamagne. You know how people ask y'all for books? Charlamagne, can I get a book deal, man? Can I work for you?
you want a book deal?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm interested in the story. I can't sit there and act like I wouldn't want to hear more of the story.
What if he's talking about Braille books?
Well, he want to write.
No,
one.
I'm talking about a regular book.
He wants to write the book, Jess.
I hate this place this morning. I hate this place.
Eddie, get my guy's information. I'm interested in hearing the story. I want to see if it might be a story there. You never know.
Yeah.
Hold on, Tommy, okay?
All right.
Hold on, Tommy.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. LoRosa filling in for Jess this morning. And if you're just joining us, we'll open up the phone lines, 800-585-1051. Unc is being Unc this morning.
How am I being Unc? I'm just letting y'all know that the Mega Millions is now $5, y'all. I can't be the only person in America that cares about this, you know what I'm saying? I've been playing my numbers for years. I mean, since Powerball came to South Carolina, back in the early 2000s, right? I remember when Powerball used to be $1, and then Mega Millions came around. I don't know if Mega Millions was $1 or if it was $2. All I know it's been $2 for years. So I go in the store and I play 5 Powerball, 5 Mega Millions. That's usually $20. Okay? That's usually $20. That is a fair price to pay for a hope and a dream. I went in there the other day and I said, let me get 5 Powerball, 5 Mega Millions. She said, that'll be $35. I said, $35, why? I said, I only want 10 tickets. She said, Mega Million is now $5. I said, what? I can't even afford to wish now? I can't even afford to hope? They say you play the Mega Millions and the Powerball because, hey, you never know. I can't even afford to never know.
Well, let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. I don't gamble like that. I don't gamble in casinos. I only play the Mega Ball or the Powerball or whatever. Mega Millions.
It's the Mega Millions and the Powerball, okay?
You know what I mean.
The Mega Ball is what y'all used to do at Diddy parties.
Hey,
okay?
yo. Hey,
that was an extracurricular activity at a Diddy party, a Mega Ball.
I don't really, like every once in a while when it gets close to $1 billion, then I'll play. But I'm not on it like that. What about you, Loren?
No. Never.
All right. Well, let's go.
Y'all don't believe in yourselves. See, I believe in myself. I'm the type of person that'll look at the Mega Millions number or the Powerball number and see that it's like 1 and whatever hundreds of millions of people win, and I'll be like, I'll be that one person. That's right.
I always feel like it's an older person, and I always feel like they live in a place that I've never heard of.
Well,
that's why I always. That's what
and
winners
they always
usually
get
are.
their ticket from a gas station.
Well, guess what? I always get them from the gas station, and I am becoming a much older person. I'll be 47 this year. When am I eligible to win?
60. Hello, who's this?
This is Cheyenne.
Cheyenne, what's up? Talk to us.
I play the Mega Millions, Powerball, Lotto every single day. The first time I walked in and I saw that Mega Millions was $5, I almost dropped to the floor. I play every single day.
Yeah.
Have you ever won?
Now that it's $5, you're not going to play as much, which they're still going to get their money, but then you're not going to be able to make as much money because you can't play as many tickets as you used to.
Talk
so like
that talk.
Charlamagne said,
Sir,
you
have you
don't
ever won?
have as much hope. You can't afford hope anymore, which is crazy.
Can't even afford hope.
Have you ever won, sir?
I have. I've won 2,500. I've won 100. I've won thousands. I've won multiple times. But now it's like they're taking away those chances for you to be able to win.
That's right. And
so it's like I can only afford a couple tickets.
The most I've ever won is $100. I always win like $2, $4, and I'm grateful for that because, it's baby steps. That lets me know I'm getting closer and closer to that jackpot.
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's fun to go in there and then say, okay, I've won. Maybe I played $4, but I get my $4 back. Now I play $10, and then it's like I only win $4. I lost $6. So now like I'm struggling now. Like,
That's
I'm
right.
in a hole. So before I never felt like I was in a hole. Now I feel like I'm in a hole every time I play.
And this brother is absolutely right because I'm only going to spend $20. I'm gonna still buy my 5 Powerball, but now I got to reduce my Mega Millions to only 2 tickets. So that's decreasing my chances of winning Mega Millions.
Hello, who's this?
Yes, how you doing? My name is Stacey Adams, like the shoe.
Hey, Stacey Adams, like the shoe. What's up, brother? Talk to us.
Okay, so listen. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm a lottery crackhead. So I don't care if it goes to $20 a ticket. I'm playing.
No.
I'm like Charlamagne. No. I'm dead serious. I am dead. Yo, I listen to y'all every morning. I start my day at like 4 a.m.
Thank
I
you.
got my own cupcake business. Yo, Charlamagne, I cannot believe I'm on the phone with y'all. But yo, when I heard about the lottery, my crackhead my crackhead side came out. I'm like, yo, I gotta call. I am on the Breakfast Club. That's crazy.
Sir, have you ever won, sir?
$20 a ticket is
Oh,
ridiculous.
no, yes. Charlamagne, I actually win a lot, actually. Like, I never win, like, the big Powerball or, like, the Mega Millions, but I play, like, the pick 3, the pick 4.
What's the most you won?
$23. Okay, so the most I ever won was $1,008.
Okay, and how much you think you spend a week?
Oh, no. It's crazy. Like I said, I'm a crackhead.
How much do you spend a week, man?
Probably about, I spend like $30 a day. Forget the week. I spend like $30 a day.
$30 a day, which is what, 5 days a week you spend?
He's an entrepreneur, though. He got his own cupcake business.
Yeah, right. I got my own cupcake business, so I make that money. Yo, I want to bring y'all some cupcakes. Like,
Bro.
I really do.
What's your Instagram? We need to
listening-
see. What's your Instagram?
Okay, got it. My Instagram is Stacey, STACY _famous, FAMOUS _cupcakes.
Thank you, sir.
And Stacey, Eddie, put Stacey on hold, get his information, let Stacey bring his cupcakes up here. I'm telling you, man, this Mega Millions thing it's a travesty that's going on in our communities right now. $5 a ticket is ridiculous. It went from $2 to $5 with no warning. At least I wasn't paying no attention.
Some of y'all need to call that number. The 1-800-GAMBLER. If you have a problem, please call this number. That man spent $7,000 to $8,000 a year, and he only won $1,000.
Yeah, but the reality
for multiple years.
But the reality is, what if that's his vice? Like, what if you don't buy nothing else? What if you don't buy like cars or spend his? What if that's what he wants to spend his money on?
1-800-GAMBLER. I think that's the number. What's the number, Loren? Find it for us. 800-585-1051. If you're just joining us, Unc was so distraught this morning. Charlamagne walked in. He didn't know Powerball tickets. The price went up.
Not the Powerball. The Mega Millions is $5, man. Not the Powerball. Okay.
All right.
And it is 1-800-GAMBLER. It's operated by the National Council
I'm not a
on
gambler.
Problem Gambling.
I don't gamble. I don't do the Prize Picks, the DraftKings. I don't gamble. I don't gamble at casinos. I'm telling you, my gambling is limited to Mega Millions and Powerball tickets every day, every week. That's what I do.
Loren, you hear him? I don't gamble.
Right.
I don't go casinos.
But
I just gamble on lottery.
When you talking to your kids about all this, do you say you playing your numbers?
Yes.
You are so country.
And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with being country?
You eat fatback?
No, hell no. I don't eat no pork. No pork on my fork. I'm playing
800-585-1051. Are you distraught like this morning? Call us up. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Jordan Klepper.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
How you feeling?
I feel real good, yeah.
I love the way you came in here already because I was joking. I was like, you what, 6'4"? And then Charlamagne was like, really? You wouldn't. And you said Charlamagne must be around 6'1". And I mean, 5'1".
He didn't say that. He said 5'1".
I said 5'1".
5'1".
I said 5'1".
And you're about right.
I was being generous. In my head, I was like, I'll make a joke about 4'6", but I'll give him a little bit more. I said 5'1". What did you say you were, Charlamagne?
I'm 5'6".
That's a goddamn lie.
5'6". You are no 5'6".
Actually 5'7", but I just say 5'6" to make people feel comfortable.
Well,
for whatever reason, I say 5'7", they argue with me, so I just say 5'6".
Yeah, and even though you said 5'6", I'm arguing with you right now, right? Does that include the brim? If you put the brim way up, you're including the brim, right?
But see, that's what I thought with you. I'm like, with the hair, you might be 6'4". I was thinking like 6'1".
That is fair. The hair gives me an extra couple inches.
Charlamagne is 5'6" with heels on. That's what it is. That's what it is about 5'6".
Well, you wear heels on a regular. How tall are you when you actually wear them? Okay,
I'm 6'5". Okay.
What happened to your foot, Jordan?
I broke my sesamoid bone.
I never even heard of that.
I didn't either. It's the kneecap of the toe.
Wow.
I know. I got another. Let me tell you, if you want old man stories right now, I broke my sesamoid bone by standing on it for too long.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a tiny.
Standing on it.
I broke a bone by standing. I'm that old now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal for you because you are, probably one of the best field journalists out here, if not the best.
The best. 100% the best.
I think you're the best.
I'll take it.
I do. And you have the new one, Fingers the Post. Fingers the Post, MAGA the Next Generation. That has to affect you.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, literally, if you watch the special right now, you will see I'm only shot from, like, the halfway up. And if anything gets awry, like I can't move or get away from people.
Oh, so it was broke during the special?
It was broke during the special.
Oh, you can't do that when you're around the MAGA crowd. You just never know.
Now, no offense to the MAGA crowd, but they're also slow movers too. Gotcha. I can usually outmaneuver them. I can use my privilege to lord it over them, or I use the 4 security guards to get between me and them if things get hairy.
I enjoyed the special. It's you talking to the younger, I guess, generation of MAGA because 15% of young men?
Yeah. Young men shifted right this election.
Gotcha.
And there was a shift right from the entire youth generation. Mm-hmm. Like women shifted right, but men especially moved into the MAGA camp. And so we were curious why. Like, what was it about that? It doesn't feel like the cool thing on a campus to believe in anti-abortion reproductive rights or essentially it's the anti-hippie movement. But there was a movement, so we're like, let's get there. Let's go to a Turning Points event. Let's go to a UFC fight. Let's talk to some of these kids.
I watched it, and when I finished, I was like, I still didn't hear a logical reason. It just felt like vibes.
I think it still is vibes. The large question was is there an ideology behind this shift? And I think the answer is no. Mm-hmm. I don't think you have a lot of kids who have conservative ideals. There's some who religion comes in or whatever those ideals are, but I think mostly they see people finding success on TikTok and the social media space being conservative, and that gives them an identity. They see it as a little bit punk. That gives it an identity. So I think they're moving towards vibes, which I think for the left, they can get those vibes back, but they're just not engaging with that generation.
Jordan, I would have to ask why. Like, why did you want to waste your time and talk to MAGA youngings?
I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's a good exercise. I think more people should do that.
The reason I say that is because you're not going to get the answers you like, probably, and then you're probably going to get threatened a lot.
Sure. Yes. I mean, the first answer, health insurance. My job is to be able to talk to other people, and if I don't do my job, I don't have health insurance.
Correct.
And I have weak bones. So we've established that. For this 6'9" frame, I need that health insurance. But I think what I like about it, I mean, I'm lucky I get to go out there. I'm not a journalist. I'm a comedian. So I get to push. I get to ask follow-ups. I get to cavort and try to find something that reveals.
Right.
Like, my job out there isn't to convince people of one way or the other. I think my job is to find something that is revealing. Like for this special, we talked to a kid. And I always find it fascinating to go to a campus and just see like what actually is happening. CNN will tell you one thing, but until you go to Texas A&M and talk to a kid, do you actually understand what it is? Like we talked to a kid about like why he was obsessed with Charlie Kirk and why he was going to a Charlie Kirk event. What is it about this guy? And he literally articulated like, I have a hard time with my words. I like to listen to what he says. I like to memorize it, and then I have his words and his ideas. And it's like, it's comedic in the special, but I think above that, it's just revealing. Like when you're like, well, why do these people? Why are they drawn to this? It's like that kid said it right there. He didn't even know that he's being somewhat comical, that you're just memorizing ideas so you can regurgitate it, but it's very human. He was like, he feels lost without that. So for me, it's always compelling to go where the story is and to talk to folks about it.
I was going to ask now the threatening part.
Yeah.
How many times have you been threatened, whether it's calls, people in person, emails, texts, et cetera, et cetera?
I mean, that happens a lot. The emails, the calls, there's been threats on family members, which is not super fun. I think out in the field, 10 years ago, I'm not going out there with security guards. You know, you can go out there as a comedian, talk about politics and not be afraid of getting punched. But Trump era comes in, people get more upset. Trump says, like, you're a patriot, fight back. These are the enemy of the people. And it was during his first run for president that like we went to a school board meeting and are having a conversation, and I get bum rushed by somebody who's just mad that we have a camera there. And since then, we keep adding security guards. I was there on January 6th, and that got hairy. We got a security guard that got pushed. There's flashbangs going off. They're like, we can't stand here. We need to get on a train. Like, it's sort of the new reality. And most people I talk to are great. They want to talk. They want to be on TV. They want to engage. But you have it now where people have been weaponized by the most powerful men on the planet who says, like, you can do something, you should fight back, these are the bad guys. And all it takes is a couple bad ideas for those guys to feel themselves and go after you.
What's the crazy experience that you've had so far?
I mean, J6 was pretty wild.
I'm sure.
You was out there for J6?
I was up there for J6.
What I didn't know that. You was out, what was you doing?
I was working on J6, all right, Charlamagne? I was working there.
I was out there.
I was out there.
Tried the window.
You know what the funniest moment on J6? Outside of the whole trying to overthrow the government and, you know, crapping on Nancy Pelosi's desk. Outside of that, I'm literally interviewing people, and we'd been there before, and we knew sort of like, we don't want to get trapped on the onslaught. So let's stay outside of where everybody is. And quite frankly, we're like, where's the one place nobody is congregating? And it was outside the African American History Museum. Jesus. Nobody was going there. So we were like, we will meet up here, and then we'll go and find people to interview. And we start walking, and we find this guy swinging a pitchfork. And I go up to the man. I start talking to this man.
Oh, that's the guy you want to talk to.
That's the guy. I mean,
the guy that's swinging the pitchfork.
We got to make TV here, you know. And that guy's got a pitchfork. He's throwing it around.
Lead with blood. All right.
By the way, I still find it hilarious that nobody was outside the African American.
Oh, 100%.
That's the funniest thing.
You know,
where are we gonna go?
Yeah,
African American Museum.
Yeah,
Nobody's there.
Do you want to engage with America's sins of the past? No. Let's take a crap on the desk of the Capitol. What do you say? So we're talking to this guy swinging a pitchfork, and he's ranting about revolution. And another man comes up. He sees the camera, and he's just swearing. He's just obscenity, man. And he's yelling so loud that Pitchfork Man stops the interview. He shushes him, and then he says, "This man doesn't speak for me." which then leaves me grateful to the more level-headed man swinging a pitchfork. And he makes eye contact with me, and he rolls his eyes as if to say, like, can you believe this effing guy? And I was like, oh yeah, that's it. Like, even this guy is like, these guys are too crazy for me. Can we just have a conversation? And you're like, right, we can actually find a little bit of common ground if there is that crazier person there.
We got my man Jordan Klepper from The Daily Show here. Yo, refresh my memory. What the hell was happening on January 6th before the insurrection? What was everybody there for?
Well, they were there to certify the vote.
Certify the vote. Okay.
But Trump then preempts it by having a huge rally at 11 o'clock. And so everybody comes out. Rudy Giuliani's there. And so everybody comes to watch the giant Trump speech. But everybody leaves halfway through. Not everybody. Half the folks leave halfway through to start moving towards the Capitol, which then we saw the Proud Boys march on the Capitol. I mean, it was a wild day. It was not a surprise though, as a cable comedy show. Like, we knew to be at the Capitol. We were right there when they pushed in because we're like, this is where everybody's going. This is where they said they're going. There's going to be something happen here. We didn't expect them to get inside, but we knew they'd be there.
For the sake of content, for the sake of clicks, did you think to yourself, hey, we should go in with them?
Luckily, my inherent fear got in the way there. I think it was confusing as to like what the rules were. I think even at the time, there was a small fence that got pushed in, and even as you're seeing this and you're watching this, and it's half tragic. You're like, this is the Capitol, this is the seat of American governance, and I see all these people acting like generals going in there, and it's also completely absurd. I interviewed literally an old man on a Segway trying to go up the hill while it's happening, but I'm assuming they can't get in, right? You're like, they're going to get stopped at some point there, but the people just kept coming, and literally our security guards at one point were just like, we're hearing explosions, this is an uncontrolled situation, it's time to get out.
People at The Daily Show, and you said it a little while ago, everybody at The Daily Show always says something that I totally disagree with. Y'all say that y'all not journalists, y'all are comedians. When the reality is y'all are probably some of the best journalists out. Because you do things like go and talk to the other side when other folks really don't, right? So do you ever interview people at these rallies? Well, first of all, do you think it's fair for y'all to be able to say y'all not journalists?
Well, it's definitely a dodge. So, yeah, thanks for calling it out. I think I say that in that the stories we get on The Daily Show are stories that are brought to us by journalists putting in the work. And so that I respect, and they work by the code of journalism. I think what we have, we take it very seriously. I don't see myself as a journalist, but I take going out and bringing back what we see to the show very seriously. But I do want an audience to understand the bias that we have towards comedy and that we're making a show with that point of view. But I think all news has a bias. And I do think, like, in modern journalism, I don't think it should be a bunch of comedians going out there bringing the stories back. Far from it. But I do think they could probably loosen up some of the rules in the ways in which they engage with people. Because sometimes you see people engaging with the old school rules of journalism, not pushing people past their conspiracies or their BS, or they're weighing both sides, where you're like, no, that's BS. You need to call that out. You need to use some other way to knock that person off their talking point so they can reveal something truthful there. And I think as comedians, we have that ability. And at its best, it works that way. But we're working in conjunction with journalists who are actually bringing the story back so that we can have some commentary on it.
Comedy is disarming.
It is.
That's the thing that a lot of the journalists don't have.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, and at its best, it cuts to the quick faster than trying to argue with somebody else.
When you do something like the MAGA, the Next Generation, do you ever leave the rally thinking, damn, maybe I'm the one who doesn't get it?
I mean, I think I always leave it with a little bit more empathy towards the folks that I'm talking with. Because for every 5 minutes on camera, there's 2 minutes off camera where you're talking about something that's not political, and you connect with them, and they're interesting, they're compelling. You find music that you both care about or something. And I think like that softens what you think about the people and the interactions that you have with those people. I think I usually feel pretty steadfast in my opinions. That being said, I do think nobody has the certainty that they pretend to have on camera at these rallies. There's a lot of complexity to many, many issues, but nobody has the guts or the vulnerability to be open about it, usually in front of a camera.
Now, you said you want to bring peace and harmony.
God, did I say that?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Is that true?
Oh boy, what did I say? I want to bring peace and harmony?
They said you want to bring peace and harmony. But how was that when every time a MAGA member comes, you give him a little joke? You belittle him just a little bit.
You know what? Yeah, I try to deliver peace through the lovely delivery mechanism of a joke. I'd love there to be some peace and harmony, but it is a constant balance of, I want to empathize. I don't want to just be mean out there when I talk to other people, but also I think life is pretty serious right now. And I think when I go to some of these MAGA events, you see Donald Trump playing to the masses in a way that emboldens him to do pretty cruel things. And so I don't mind pushing back hard in that direction. But I often think the people I talk to, I have sympathy for because I think they're being weaponized by other people who are trying to manipulate them. So that's where my empathy tends to lie.
Do you ever struggle with where satire ends and responsibility begins?
Yeah, I mean, I think like that activist conversation is a tough one. I don't love the hat. I do think like John is somebody who always says like, this is not activism. We're comedians, and I think like in some ways that is a safety net. But you also sort of need that to like not approach work every day to think of like, what am I trying to change in the world? Like, I understand where that comes from, but it's like the job of the show is to find comedy, to follow like your passions, the things you care about, where you see BS, call it out, but also like find a way to make it funny and interesting and reformat it. I think that is the job. You get in tough territory when you're like, I need to be an activist in that moment. I don't think that is the place, but I think you have to be honest with like your desire to like be a part of that conversation, but also be honest with like what your skill set is and what your platform is.
Have you ever spoke to somebody where you actually changed their mind by the things that you said and they understood what you were saying?
No.
Okay.
I do tell a story though. It doesn't happen in front of the camera. People don't change their minds in front of the camera, but off camera it gets close. I was heckled at a rally by a man who was dressed in a brick suit. A suit that looked like Trump's wall. A bespoke suit. He had a handlebar mustache. He's known as the brick suit guy. Trump brings him up on stage at lots of his rallies. He's famous there. He trolled me at a rally. He live streamed during our interviews to try to get people not to talk to us. He was a pain in the ass. We get snowed in, and all of us have to fly out the next day after this rally on different flights. And I show up at the Green Bay airport, very tiny airport, alone. There's a 3.5 hour delay, and brick suit guy is there. And
He's not in the brick suit still.
He's not in the brick suit. He's wearing a MAGA hat. He's got 2 extra hats on his case, but no brick suit. Civilian clothes. And he's like, do you want to talk? And of course I don't want to talk, but we're there at an airport for 3.5 hours, and we get into it. And I don't change his mind. He doesn't change my mind, but he is remarkably open about the things he's unsure about with Donald Trump. He's unsure. He wishes Donald Trump didn't go on and on about the 2020 election being stolen, which is a huge thing to show any kind of weakness. Like, I don't believe Trump was honest about that. In the MAGA movement, you can't say that in front of the camera. He says that to me off camera. He talks about like where he comes from. And frankly, he's like a libertarian guy who likes to troll people online. You'd like to think that the handlebar mustache guy who dresses in bespoke brick suit is an idiot. Not an idiot. Smart guy. Feels like a history buff. Like the kind of person who has too many like World War II books. But a smart guy, has his own topics. Like we literally, we laugh. Somebody recognizes me as we're talking and asks for a selfie, and he takes the photo, which is like, this. He's open to all of this stuff. We talk all the way up until I get on the plane, and I'm in an exit row, and the woman who takes the ticket asks if I'm willing to accept the responsibilities of being in an exit row. I say yes, and then I turn to him, and I was like, I hope this freaks you out, man. And he laughs. And I'm like, that's it right there. Like, you're not intimidated by me. I'm not so offended that I made a joke. You laugh. It's humor. It's disarming. And it's, for most of the people who I'm friends with, even who I disagree with, you find things you can laugh at. And that happens all off camera. And I'm not entering that conversation to try to change his mind. That's not going to happen. But I'm entering it with like an amount of uncertainty of like, here's the things that I'm unsure about what the left says, or here's things that I think are okay about what Trump does. And he's like, here's things that I doubt about what Trump does. And you're like, oh, there's the human behind that. Even in the caricature of a guy from The Daily Show mixed with the caricature of a person from the Trump universe, like they can talk. They can meet somewhere of an understanding, and usually it's freaking away from those cameras in a Green Bay airport.
It is Memorial Day, so we're not here to salute to all our veterans out there, but we do have some new conversations for you that you haven't heard yet. My man Jordan Klepper, he's got a new special out, Jordan Klepper Fingers the Post, MAGA, and we're going to talk to him all about it right here on The Breakfast Club. I remember when you had your late night show, didn't they have you playing a character of a conservative right wing?
I was playing like an Alex Jones style right wing character, and so that was, and at that time too, it was like InfoWars was so huge and big, and the conspiracy mindset, which thankfully has gone completely away. We don't see it anymore. But that was me playing a caricature to find humor in going over the top. Quite frankly, as comedy has evolved and the politics situation has evolved so much over the last 10 years, like I think that's still a space to play in. There's still humor to be found, but I think audiences are like so tired of extreme caricatures. You have one in the White House that like I think they're connecting more with comedians on a more authentic level. And so that's sort of, in some ways, where the finger the pulse stuff has come out of. Trevor was big on that. He was just like, go out there. You're not playing a parody of a journalist. You're yourself, bringing your wits about you and your opinions. Find humor in that, but don't lean on the character.
Also, people are dumb, so they'll believe you. They're
Sure.
like, I didn't know you were playing a character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We had at the opposition, we had Carter Page, who was a foreign advisor to Donald Trump, and it was the center of the news cycle at one point because people were wondering if he was a Russian asset because Russia had manipulated him in the past. He was working for the Trump administration, and he reached out to our show and took a meeting at our show because he wanted to work on our show as someone. He didn't see it as a satire.
Wow.
He saw it as an opportunity, which was hard for us to swallow.
Where do you think satire fits in today's media landscape? Are people numb to it? Are they addicted? Are they still reachable? Do they understand it? Like,
I mean, I think what has shifted so much is like the formatting of it all, right? I think like satire is all about context, and that's hard if you're taking it in 7-second chunks on like TikTok.
Yes.
I think it's easier if you have a 30-minute chunk, if you have an 8-minute rant. I think people are drawn to comedy. In many ways, it is like the language of I mean, it's a language of humor, but I think like it's the quickest way to get to a truth. So I do think satire is in a boon. I think people are drawn, but that being said, the social media landscape has shifted the ways in which we consume all this stuff, and that has kind of like, it is made for long form capabilities, long podcasts, and I think that has shifted where comedy lies, and short form as well, which is more about those sound bites.
Now, speaking of the future of MAGA, what do you think the future of MAGA is going to look like, especially in 2028?
Oh boy, I think Trump is such a singular character that they think it can be passed on, and that we have seen no proof of that yet. Donald Trump has been famous his whole life. I mean, he's referenced in rap songs when I was coming up in a way that was like he is equated with wealth, and I think that is nobody else has that, and so I think they're going to try to pass it off. Maybe that's to J.D. Vance, maybe it's to somebody who's even farther right, but right now it's still a cult of personality that he's going to try to build around him. We'll see if that baton goes anywhere else.
it's interesting when people say that, though, because to me, it's not even about the individual of Donald Trump. There's clearly a whole system that is perfectly okay with him doing everything that he's doing.
Yeah.
So that is what scares me. It's the system
Yeah.
that is allowing him to exist, because they will allow somebody else to exist in that same way.
Yeah, they've attached a system, and there's people behind it who have gotten good at understanding how to use Donald Trump. I think this Project 2025, the world of Steve Bannon's, we're like, okay, he's going to come in here. He is a singular character in his ability to charm half a nation, 40 some odd % of a nation. I think that is hard to pass off. But I think you have a conservative movement who has sort of lost any desire to make a moral argument and just found a way in which to like attach their wants to somebody who will just bulldoze all the way through, who is about, I mean, the Trump doctrine is he likes to make deals and he wants whatever is good for him.
Yes.
And if they can attach conservative things onto the things that are deals and good for him, that make him look successful and popular, then they will ride that, and he has no problem riding that.
What's a moment, I have like a couple more questions. What's a moment that actually made you emotional while doing one of your Man on the Street segments?
I mean, it's not to get dark about it all, but like we covered news day in and day out. And when I was hosting the show specifically, like mass shootings, like you're like, oh, how do you find humor in it? We find humor. But like when it's your responsibility, late night has shifted into a place where people come to it to feel like a connection to what has happened during the days. And we have such a mass shooting epidemic in this country. And especially when I was hosting a show where like, what happened today? Well, the big news is there was another terrible shooting in a school, and we had people come on, and I've covered like the gun movement with specials and in the past as well, and I've talked to parents and I've talked to students who are affected by all of this, and it's such emblematic of what is wrong with our country. Like most people just want safe, basic guidelines to try to stop this, and there's such inaction on a federal level that it's constantly infuriating. And so as that keeps happening and continues to happen, like it's it's so heartbreaking. Also, as someone who has a kid who's in school right now, it's so scary to think of that happening to parents. And beyond that, it's so infuriating because it's like the system is broken when you have people who scream out from the rafters. 80% of people are like, we just need basic stuff to try to help kids in schools. And yet you have like a system of government that can't respond to that. Like that always pisses me off.
What's your dream field piece that you haven't gotten to do yet?
Barbados. Send me to a nice place. Nice place on a beach. I'm in Pennsylvania all the time at Trump rallies in the heat, fighting with people about whether JFK Jr. is still alive.
Jesus
and so,
Christ.
like, send me to someplace beautiful. Give me a puff piece.
So how do you decompress after a day of absorbing conspiracy theories in 90-degree heat?
Oh, you know what? It's booze. Booze helps real quick. It's booze, the NBA, and being a dad. I think that helps out.
Word.
Yeah.
Well, tell them how they can see this special.
They can check it out on Paramount Plus or YouTube. It's up on both those places right now.
That's right. Fingers the Pulse. MAGA, the next generation on the Daily's YouTube. Jordan Klepper, ladies and
Daily
gentlemen.
Show's YouTube.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, guys.
It's the Breakfast Club. It's Jordan Klepper.
You gotta say something you may not agree with doesn't mean I'm mean.
Who's getting that donkey?
That donkey. That donkey.
Donkey of the day, right there.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
You can call me the donkey of the day, but like, I mean no harm.
Donkey of the day goes to a Baltimore man by the name of Kevin Gross. Kevin is 46 years old, just like I am, but I clearly make better choices than Kevin. You know how sometimes people say, oh, you think you better than me? The answer is yes. Yes, I do, because I make better choices. Not judging you for anything you got going on, but you ask me a question. Oh, you think you better than me? Yes. Hell yes. Because I understand the strongest principle of growth lies in human choice, and I make better choices than you. And if you are currently enjoying this thing called freedom, well, you make better choices than Kevin as well, because he's in jail. Currently facing charges for allegedly shooting a 28-year-old co-worker on the side of I-95 this past Monday morning. Now, I know some of y'all right now are either at or on the way to jobs where you think you can't stand your co-worker. You believe you hate this co-worker with all your heart, and you just might. Okay? Just be better than Kevin. Okay? And the way you continue to be better than Kevin is simply by making the choice not to shoot your coworker. Let's go to WBAL TV for the report, please.
Bond denied for 46-year-old Kevin Gross. He's facing charges for allegedly shooting a 28-year-old coworker on the side of I-95 early Monday morning. According to charging documents, the victim called 911. When state police arrived, they found him walking along the shoulder of 95 with 7 gunshot wounds to the arm and torso. Court documents show he told police he was on his way into work and got a flat tire, so he pulled over on the shoulder of 95 just north of the Howard County line. When he got out to inspect the tire, his coworker, Kevin Gross, pulled up behind him and got out wearing a mask covering his mouth. Quote, Gross told him he must have hit a pothole or something, but upon inspecting the tire, the victim could see the tire had been slashed. Gross then produced a firearm and began firing numerous shots, end quote. Charging documents reveal the two were assistant managers at Planet Aid in Elkridge. Gross had recently been demoted, and the victim told police Gross thought he had something to do with that demotion.
Kevin, you got the right last name, because this was gross. What a diabolical plan. The victim was on his way to work and got a flat tire. He thought he hit a pothole, but his tires had been slashed. Ooh, I wonder who slashed him. And then when he got out to inspect the tire, Kevin pulled up behind him with a mask and shot him several times, all because he thought his coworker got him demoted. Both of them were assistant managers at Planet Aid. Now, y'all know what Planet Aid is, right?
No.
Yeah, they are the organizations that collect the clothing donations. They got the yellow bins all over the place where you can put the clothes and shoes in. Yeah, they accept clothing donations in 1,700 locations.
Oh, nice.
Okay, in the Elkridge warehouse. You know what Elkridge is, right?
Yep.
Yes. They collect 15.5 million pounds of used clothes and shoes annually. Well, clearly Kevin wasn't there for the cause, so I needed to know, what are the perks of being an assistant manager at Planet Aid? So I asked ChatGPT, how much does an assistant manager at Planet Aid make? I don't know if this is 100% correct, but it says the average salary for a manager at Planet Aid might earn between $50,000 and $60,000 annually. Now, I need y'all to always keep in mind that my education is limited to a high school degree from night school. Okay, drop on the clues bomb from Berkeley High School, all right, in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. But if it's one thing I understand is prison math, and by prison math, I mean when you have to calculate in your mind whether or not the choice you make is going to be worth you going to prison. Okay, now let's do the prison math, all right? I'm making 50, 60 grand a year in Baltimore as a 46-year-old man. I don't know about y'all, but if I can afford to put some food on my table and have a roof over my head, I'm going to be happy. Okay, success is subjective. And if you're a free man, 46 years old, you can come and go as you please. You got a job, you maintaining. That's a good life. If you don't think it's a good life, go to a prison right now and talk to these brothers doing 15, doing 20, doing 25, some of them doing forever, and ask them would they trade lives with the free man making 50 to 60 grand as an assistant manager at Planet Aid. Hell, even if he got demoted, okay, even if he got demoted, the warehouse lead role at Planet Aid earns about $27.39 per hour, according to ChatGPT. That's almost 57 grand a year if you're working 40 hours a week. All I'm saying is, no matter how much I calculate this prison math, okay, I've done addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I tried to figure this out multiple ways, and guess what? It just don't compute. Okay, it just doesn't add up. The victim is in critical condition. He got shot 7 times. Kevin Gross is charged with attempted first-degree murder in Maryland. That's life in prison. First and second degree assault, Kevin Gross is also charged with. First degree assault is 25 years in Maryland. Second degree assault is 10 years in Maryland. And he got other related charges. Moral of the story is Kevin is spending the rest of his natural born life in prison. Therefore, the prison math ain't adding up. It's just not worth it. You have to calculate it in your head. You got demoted. You don't even know if this person you shot had anything to do with it. But even if they did, as soon as you started formulating this plan in your head, just think about it. I'm going to cut his tires. I'm going to shoot him a bunch of times. At some point, your brain has to say, no. This prison math ain't mathing. This is not a situation that's worth having to eat jail food for the rest of your life. Or having an inmate treat your bunkie like a bowl of cereal. So please, let Remy Ma give Kevin Gross the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
You got demoted. Take the L.
How do you get demoted from like a Salvation Army place?
That's
like
wrong.
a Goodwill place.
And what could you do wrong?
Yeah.
I don't know. But he didn't even ask no questions. He just assumed it was this other person and shot him 7 times. Now he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. For that? Don't add up.
We don't need to play a game.
And you also, I mean, we can if you want to.
What?
You want to play a game?
He from Baltimore. Please, come on now.
There's no white people in Baltimore?
Yeah, it's white
no
people,
Asian people in Baltimore.
Come on now.
No Latinos in Baltimore?
No, but something that petty like that, like
she got a point.
Yeah,
Okay,
come
right.
on.
She got a point.
A clothing store. Then it's not even like a regular clothing store.
It's Planet Aid.
Yeah, like nah, he black.
Always do prison math though. Whenever you about to make a choice that you think gonna get you in some type of trouble, especially if it's involving any type of crime, just calculate it in your head. Is this worth the time you gonna get for said situation?
That's sad.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Bien, welcome.
Pepe, thank you so much for having me, guys.
How you doing, brother?
Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm having an amazing time in New York. Just sold out the SOBs the other night. And so now I'm in the Breakfast Club. So this is a big deal for me, guys.
You just launched a tour, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm on tour currently. I'm doing 10 states, and we're sold out everywhere.
Oh, that's dope.
Crazy.
Congratulations.
Super blessed. Thank you.
And the album is called, let me see if I'm pronouncing this right, Alusa?
Yeah. Alusa, yes. Alusa is my name, as known in my village. So, Alusa, why are you topless?
So you don't have no shirt on most of the time.
Yeah.
You be out there showing
usually, but I had to buy. Yes, I'm showing some back. Yeah, but being topless is freedom. Being topless is audacity. And in this phase of my career and where I'm at right now, I need that audacity to be with me every day.
Is that really audacity to be topless? If you walk around with no pants on, swinging now, that's audacity. Just the shirt off, everybody do that.
No. You know when you get home, like if you're a girl, when you get home, the first thing you do is you unhook your bra.
Yeah.
And that's part of the freedom I'm talking about. Being topless is not.
What do you
really
identify as?
Nigga.
A black man.
No, I'm just saying. You said as a girl. I don't know.
No, I'm just giving an analogy.
Yeah.
That maybe Jess can connect with.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's an analogy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now you did.
But that's a different though, because when I get it, when women get home and they take that bra off, they're free.
Right.
But what about you? Like when you get home and maybe if you're in Miami. No, if you're in Miami and if you're in a sunny place and a humid place and you take off your shirt, that's freedom, man.
Yes.
Yeah. And basketball shorts, no drawers.
We're not talking about
not
that.
so much.
Come on now.
You're really pushing this LoRosa agenda.
Yes.
Agenda. It's not an agenda. It's just
The name of Charlamagne was going to be Charlamagne. Why are you gay?
Why? Why?
Yes.
Shout out my neighbors, Uganda, for that. They're my neighbors.
right.
Those are my next door neighbors.
Yeah.
Now you did rap. I was gonna say you did Rap Radar the other day.
Yes, I did.
And you came with something different that I don't think any Rap Radar guest has ever done.
Rap
or
Radar
you've seen
still do
before.
interviews?
No, like
On the radar. I said Rap Radar.
I'm about to say, on the radar.
They did
Gabe. I was like, what?
With Gabe, yes. You came with a chicken?
Yeah, I came with a chicken. I would have come with a chicken here, but there's too many rules, and you guys are really on the top floor, so I wasn't able to smuggle my mascot into the building.
No, that's right.
Yeah. A chicken is my cultural totem. Like, the animal that represents my culture is a rooster. And it's because a rooster is a timekeeper. A rooster is a caregiver. A rooster is a security for your home. A rooster is many things, including a good meal. So that's why I walk around with. That's why I walk around with.
Where did you get this chicken from? Where did you get the chicken from? 'Cause I know you didn't.
I didn't know the animal laws in New York. I had to drive all the way to Pennsylvania, like
To
an
get a
hour.
chicken?
And, yeah, to get a
Damn.
chicken.
The Queens.
They wouldn't sell it to me in Queens. Nobody would give me a live chicken in New York because it's against the law. So I had to go all the way to Pennsylvania, cross state lines to look for the chicken. But yeah,
I think it's about the wording, because you know in America, I don't know, y'all don't know if y'all say this in Kenya. In America, they say, so you have to say, I want to bring my
to the interview.
to the interview.
Yeah,
Can
when
I
I say
bring my
me and my I was stroking my like
the whole time.
So what did
And
you
if
do?
you say you eating you really might get invited into
I
some
give the
parties.
chicken. I give my to my driver, and he took it to an animal home, animal shelter. So he's alive.
No, so it's alive. Okay.
Yeah, my alive. Let's
So
go.
this is a freedom album, basically. You know,
Yeah.
because it's a Lusa. Why are you topless? You
So
are,
previously, in my other life, I was in a band. I was in a boy band.
Okay.
And the band was called Sauti Soul.
Called what?
Sauti Soul.
Sauti Soul.
And it means in Swahili, voices of the sun.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in a boy band, and this is my second lease of life. So now I'm a solo artist. I've been a solo artist for 2 years now, and everything's looking up. I'm at the Breakfast Club. Mama, I made it.
Hey.
Nice. Why did Saudi Soul take such a long hiatus from music? Y'all last the
We
last
were
thing ever
together
in
20 years.
2005?
Yeah, we're like New Edition from Kenya. Yeah, all the Boys to Men. We met in high school.
Wow.
So we've been together 20 years, 20 beautiful years, the best years of my life. Yeah.
What made you just want to go solo now?
Just trying something new, after doing something for a long time. I think it was time for us to try and see what the other side looks like. And it's been beautiful so far. I think we needed this break so that our next season will be just as glorious, even better.
And what is the other Saudi Soulers doing? Like, what?
They're making music. They're doing interesting things. My brother Polycarp just launched his guitar Jawaya, which is an amazing guitar. Chimano is on tour. Savara is putting out music as well. So we're all busy and we're all working together. Like, we're all writing for one another. We're all producing for one another.
They're still friends.
Oh, great friends. Great friends.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Why do you think East African music hasn't seen a surge in, I guess, mainstream the way artists from the West and South
Yeah.
have?
Well, there's many aspects to it, including the fact that it's just never been funded. Any music that you hear in the West is marketing dollars spent to get that music there. So for a long time, East Africa hasn't had that limelight. Also, our numbers in the diaspora don't come anywhere close to Nigeria. So the dominant culture in the diaspora is going to be Nigeria. But the next logical sound to listen to after you've gone north, east, west, the north, west, and south is east. And so here we are, we're taking the stairs, but we're getting here anyway.
Why is it I noticed with international artists, they always want to win in the U.S.
Yeah.
Why is that so important?
Because when you win in the US, the reward is too high. Being the biggest artist in Kenya is nowhere close being the biggest artist in the US. When you win in the US, you win in the world. So for a long time, this market has dominated the world like that. Also, you guys have the structures, you have the venues, the ticket masters and all these, all of these infrastructure that makes music what it is in the world. Yeah. So you're thought leaders, you're global leaders. Why not?
Do you remember when your love for music first hit you?
Yes. I was like maybe 5 or 6. I was watching Bob Marley's song, Iron, Lion, Zion, da 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 da. And that's the first time I was like, wow, what is this? Like, I feel like doing this thing. And I've been doing it since. I'm 37 now, guys. I've been singing 31 years. Yeah.
Wow, since 6 years old.
Since I was 6, yeah. And I joined the choir in church. And I always say the church is the best artist development program in the world. Because that's where all the great musicians, especially for black music, come from.
How was it in Kenya? Because you hear stories, people from Nigeria, their parents like, no, you're not gonna go into music. You're not gonna go into entertainment. You're gonna be a doctor. Like in Kenya, when you said you wanted to do music, how was it?
My mom said, as long as you finish school, as long as you finish college, you can do whatever you want. And music has been a kind master to me. Music paid me through college. Like I put out my first single with Ciofalo, my band, when I was a freshman, and just like that, my life changed. Wow. I had to finish school, but I studied to be a journalist, so I'd probably be working here. I did communications.
And did you know that moment where you knew you were going to make it, like, oh, this is what I was here to do?
I told also my cousin when I was 6 that I'm going to be a superstar. And she laughed it off. But I remind her to this day that this is written. Like, I always knew that this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. Even though sometimes life pushed me in directions where I wasn't in my direct journey. Like, for example, like when I studied communications, it wasn't me studying music. But it came back now to make sense. Like my oratory skills are different. I understand how to interview, there's just things I learned in uni that are very vital for me right now. Yeah.
And back then you was just like, I'm training to be on the other side of the microphone, but then you end up being an artist, so you got it.
I was actually just finishing school to clock out something in life. Say that I have a degree, but I wasn't very passionate about it.
What'd you major in?
Communications. Journalism.
Okay.
Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah.
You communicated that.
I communicated. Not as effectively.
I just wanted to be clear. That's all. It is Memorial Day, so we're not here, but we do have some conversations that you haven't heard. We all are fans of Afro beats and, all of the sounds that are coming out of the continent right now. So I want to introduce you to somebody you may or you may not know. His name is BN. Okay, BN is an artist from Kenya, an Afro pop musician, and we're going to talk to him because he's currently on tour here in the States, and we're going to talk to him right now. I saw something where they were saying the Grammys was donating some money to Kenya.
That was political. So the Grammys are doing an Africa Grammys. Like same way we have the Latin Grammys. So there's been talk about Africa doing a Grammys. And Kenya had put in a bid to be the host for the Grammys.
3.8 million it was.
Something like that. And the bid, I think the news came out at a very bad time. Because at that time, economically, and even now, we're not doing so well as a country. So a $3.8 million spend on the Grammys feels like an impulse spent to the people. Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
The amount of money that the Grammys would bring in would be quadruple that, though, I'm sure.
Not a lot of people have the insights of the music business to understand the value of the Grammys coming to Kenya like that, but so the people were just up in arms because they felt like there's many more ways to spend the $3.5 million. Yeah.
Why did you agree with it?
Because I'm an artist and I understand what it's going to do for my constituency, for my people. Like, this is future, investments for the artists who are coming. They're going to thank us one day for hosting the Grammys in Kenya. So I think it's not a bad thing. Maybe the communication behind it should have been better. Maybe they should have been told about the financial.
You should agree in communications.
Yes, I agree, Jess. I agree. Maybe just the communication only should have been better. Yeah. They should have said what Envia said about the profit and what we stand to gain as a country, and this and this and this, and then people would have been like, okay, we see it.
I mean, it would. The visitation, hotels, restaurants, foods, tourism. I mean, it's just so much that you get out of it.
The development programs for the different facets of the music industry that the Grammy comes with as well.
That's right.
Yeah. The Grammy is like a good artist development program as well, second to the church. So yeah, it would be nice if they came through. Yeah, I'm still hoping they do. Yeah.
Does that put a lot of pressure on you, knowing that Kenya is a country that isn't doing that well financially, but you may be doing better than most?
Yes, it puts pressure on me to make art that speaks to those people and tells their story to the world. Like, I want people to see the pain and the struggle in my art. I want them to listen to the lyrics, and I want the lyrics to take them to places in Kenya that they've never been to, and I want the human experience to connect. So right now we're not going through a very easy time. Our government has no opposition. The opposition is the youth. And for the last year or so, there have been so many abductions. There's been freedom of expression, but not freedom after expression. And I just think it's important for us to know that, or the leaders to know that I have more faith in the children who are coming than their leadership in terms of the power they used to oppress. I don't have any fear to the current regime. I have more faith in the kids, and I think the kids are going to save us.
You feel comfortable living there?
I feel comfortable living in Kenya. Yeah, I would say to a large extent, Kenya is a beautiful country. Yeah, there's many experiences you can get, and we are generally very peaceful people. But the recent times have been very tough economically. But we are not a basket case.
That's right.
Yeah, we are proper people. Kenyans are fighters. Africans are fighters, and the people of Africa will keep the lights on. The people of Kenya will keep the lights on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is one of your favorite songs from the album?
Masheri.
Masheri?
Yeah, it's a tribute to you, Jess. I wrote it to you. Yeah.
She's married.
Was it
I know.
inspired? Damn,
It's
so
okay.
am I.
It's okay. I'm also married.
But he's also African, so he can have more than one wife.
No, he can't.
That
no.
too.
You can't. You're married to a
I just
Mexican.
choose not to.
You're married to a Mexican.
Constitutionally,
You can only have more than one baby.
Every African. I thought that was in certain villages. Why are y'all doing that?
Some things just I found in this world, and there are such complex issues that I can't really address right now on the Breakfast Club. But I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Cheeky deserves all of you and
All
only
of
you.
me, only me.
Her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you wouldn't want another wife? I mean, I'm just saying. Not, let me rephrase
He
that.
trying to get you in trouble.
No.
BN.
Let me rephrase that. I know you are happily married. I'm
Yes.
just saying,
Yeah.
based off African tradition in a lot of countries,
Yeah.
you are allowed to have another wife.
Constitutionally in Kenya, you're allowed. Do I want another wife? No, I don't.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Not now. No, I don't. No.
Because just
Don't let me
because
get you in trouble.
Just because that's, culturally, like, y'all can do that, doesn't mean you always want that, right? Yeah.
I come from a polygamous family. My dad has 10 kids from 6 different women.
Legend.
I am the last of 10. I am the last of 10. Charlamagne, you've been in trouble. I know you, by the way.
He's married. Was he married to him or just?
Informally, one would argue that, yeah. So formally, he's been married to 2.
Okay.
Yeah, my mother is the last of the 10, and I'm of the 6.
They all know about each other.
They all know about each other. When he bought a spoon for our house, he bought a spoon for the other house. He bought,
Yeah.
If you guys really understand how polygamy works, maybe it's not going to be a very touchy subject.
Yeah.
I think just when you listen from the West and how people speak about it, it's just really given the vibe that it's unfair, but it's everything. It has everything to do with society and how society was set up back then. It may not work now, I agree, but back then it had everything to do with community and looking out for one another. In some cases, a guy was polygamous because maybe his first wife couldn't get kids, you see, and she'd be like, let me bring a helper to see how we can do this. Right. Also, the more kids you had, the more labor you had, because we were farmers, we were herdsmen, and so the more children you had, the more people you had to create wealth with. So that was the structure then.
Can I ask one more random question?
Yeah.
What would Africa look like if all the countries were unified?
I ask myself that question all the time. I ask myself, what would Africa look like if we weren't colonized? Because, naturally, we have never really been people who go out to conquer and convert. We've always been, and that's why it was very easy to colonize us, because we were easy to, coerce. And we didn't know the games that the other party was playing. So I think a united Africa is an Africa that's living to its full potential. It's peaceful. There's some leaders right now in the continent who are showing what Africa could do united. I don't know if you guys have heard about Traore from Burkina Faso. Yeah, and he's been able to unite the countries on his region. They've been able to kick out France. Because
he's taking care of people.
Yeah, and he's taking care of people.
Simple.
And I see that to be the future of the continent. And when we unite, we will be unstoppable in all the beautiful ways.
BN, ladies and gentlemen.
Good to see you, brother. Tell them about is there a website for the tour? Or just go to.
Oh yes, man. You can go on my Instagram, BNAMESOL, BIENAIMESOL. BNAMESOL. You can go there. There's a link for the tickets. I'm sold out in pretty much every place.
Hey.
But you can follow the boy. You can check out the vibes, and through my page, you're gonna discover what East Africa is about. I also want to welcome all of you guys to Kenya.
I'd love to.
If you guys ever land in Kenya, Envy, I know you come there often. So tell them.
Often. I got to get back though.
Hey, Kenya,
but tell them about it. Tell them
beautiful
about
place.
It.
Kenya, right by Zanzibar, right?
Yes.
Tanzania. Yeah. Because when I went there the year before last, I went to Tanzania, Zanzibar, and they was like, "You got to go to Kenya. It's right there."
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm welcoming you guys to Kenya.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Love to see you guys there.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
Well, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. It's time for a positive note. What we got?
It is really simple, man. For everybody out there that's always on social media, trying to curate the perfect image, putting a filter on everything. I just want to tell y'all be so worried about image, you need to clean up your spirit. Okay, some of y'all need to clean up your spirit. Go do some damn work on yourself. I'm not out here, pushing for therapy just because. Y'all need to go out here and find a therapist. Y'all need to find a spiritual leader. Y'all need to just really clean up your spirit because your spirit is disgusting and nasty. Have a blessed day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
You gonna finish or y'all done?